Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Slice of Gaming, episode 94 for April 19th, 2025. I am your host, the Uncharted Wolf. Got a pretty small news week. I think a lot of people are kind of just getting over the Switch 2 drunkenness. What do you call it? Hangover.
Drama.
Yeah, drama, yeah, but also hangover. Like, just a lot of Switch 2 stuff at once for 2 weeks in a row. I think a lot of people are still kind of getting over it. So a lot of news companies are kind of slowing down on the gaming news for now, but we're going to get a lot of games coming up in the next few weeks. We're going to be able to cover all of them, hopefully. Joining me today, I got a very special panel. I got Jat.
Yep. How's it going? Might need to do multiple shifts to buy Donkey Kong for 100 of my Canadian dollars. Let's go.
Hell yeah, man. Gotta pay the bills, man. Pay the bills first and then Donkey Kong. And I'm also joining me is Moon.
It's like, I'm back. I am now a converted Nintendo fan. Just believe that I am, okay?
Anyways, we got a very fun one. Not a lot to talk about, but hopefully, I like the smaller episodes. Just chill vibes, talking. Also, I noticed very close to episode 100. I don't know what we're going to do for that, because episode 50, we did the top 20 games, and everyone we talked to hated our list. So I don't know how we are going to do a top 100. I don't know what we would do for episode 100. It is insane that we've been going on for 100 episodes, and that's all due to you guys' support, checking us out on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, all our podcast platforms like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everything under the sun, we're going to be on there, and also liking the podcast on YouTube. Every bit of support has been helping a lot. And Moon's also been doing a lot of stuff with the manga side. So it's a ton of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with the channel lately. We got some big plans. I mean, Moon, if you want to tease it, you got like a little trivia show coming up, right?
Yeah, we're going to continue to rip off Kind of Funny and going to do some more game show stuff. We got a video game music one coming up, and I think we're going to try to return to the how long does it take to beat this video game because that was fun, but boy was that a messy pilot episode too. Yeah. We thought we could blow through 20 video games in a single record. It's like, nope, that's way too long.
What I learned with this group of people we've assembled is never underestimate their yapping. They're always going to find a way to yap.
Oh yeah.
But I think we should just get right into the news. A lot of this stuff I like, not a lot of big topics, but just fun topics of discussion, really. First and foremost, I mean, this broke today. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders are back. Finally, we are getting the news that Switch 2 pre-orders, if you haven't been following the saga, the Switch 2 pre-orders in the US, and then eventually for our Canadian brother Jat here, it was so funny. If you remember, Jat, it was literally just like, oh, the pre-orders are gone from the US for now because the tariffs. It's like, okay. And then like the day before they were supposed to go up in Canada, they were taken away. It's like, oh no, we're not doing them in Canada either. It's like, what the fuck? But yeah, they're actually gonna get back on the menu. Wario 64 brought this up on Blue Sky. Nintendo maintains Switch 2 pricing. Retail pre-orders to begin April 24th in the United States. And I think that also includes Canada, unless I'm wrong, Jet. I think
yeah. We're going live at the same time.
Cool. But there was a little press release from Nintendo. Retail pre-orders for Switch 2 will begin April 24th, 2025. At launch, the price for the Switch 2 in the US will remain as announced on April 2nd at $449.99 US dollars, and the Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World bundle will be announced at $500. Pricing for both physical and digital versions of Mario Kart World, $80. Still got to get used to that, man. And Donkey Kong Bonanza at $70 will remain unchanged at launch. But interesting here, however, Nintendo Switch 2 accessories will experience price adjustments from those announced on April 2nd due to changes in market conditions. Other adjustments to the price of any Nintendo product are also possible in the future depending on market conditions. And they kind of put up a retail price MSRP of the accessories. For the most part, all the accessories basically got like a $5 increase. I think one of them got a $10 increase. I forget which one. It might have been the Joy-Cons. No, it wasn't the Joy-Cons. Might have been the carrying case, actually. But there was just like usually about $5 increase for everything. So little things here and there. But yeah, guys, I mean, we've been waiting for this for a while. It kind of feels like after the tariffs were announced, literally the day of the Switch 2 Direct, and then like 2 days later, Nintendo were like, hey, we're going to pull out. Then it was the 90-day pause on the tariffs. And listen, I'll be honest, it's impossible to keep up with the tariff situation. It's
Yeah.
changed every single day. So
Yep.
we've gotten to the point where Nintendo's just like, let's just bite the bullet now. We might have to raise the price later. And that's what's crazy. It's like we might be looking at a situation where buying at launch, usually it's like, oh, you're buying the most expensive at launch. It's like now we might be getting the cheapest possible version of the Switch too.
Yeah. Also, one quick thing I just noticed is that that note about the price for the accessories potentially increasing. Yeah, that's only on the U.S. side. On the Canadian part, they just removed that paragraph.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got to buy all of our accessories over in Canada.
Yeah.
well, are they the same prices? Do you have the price of those accessories, Jet?
Oh, yeah. They've like matched with the U.S. Canadian prices. So if it
Okay,
goes up there, I'm not sure if it'll go up here.
gotcha. But yeah, I mean, so Jet, I know you're skipping out on Switch 2 for now, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, just
Moon,
for now. Yeah.
yeah, no worries. What about you, Moon? Are you jumping in?
That's funny. It's like I'm on this podcast to do because I've been literally it was slow at work, so I just kind of just thought about the Switch 2 a lot today, and I feel like I went from I'm gonna wait and maybe wait for like Donkey Kong to come out and do that, but then I realized was mainly the reason I was thinking of going and waiting for DK was because I was going to use my employee discount. I work at a major retailer and they don't allow the discounts on pre-orders. But I'm like, okay,
Oh,
well,
okay.
I'll wait till after after the system comes out, the game comes out, and then I'll use my discount because it's a 10% employee discount. So that's a decent chunk off a $450 console. It's like 45-50 bucks. And so I thought, okay, you know what? Let's just wait and do that. Uh, but then I realized GameStop put out their little notification and said, "Hey, yeah, you were going to do this whole thing where we're going to have this event where you can turn on your Switch, and it's going to be all. Apparently, they're going to have like this thing to
Yeah, it's
transfer
like
your
a
data.
system transfer. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm just like,
it's
okay, well, that's
crazy.
cool, maybe. And and so now I'm thinking, well, and of course, also their thing to turn in the Switch as well.
Yeah, the
And I'm
exchange is
like,
crazy. It's
and
like,
the
and then
exchange.
you get $200 back.
I have the original like launch Switch
Oh,
basically,
okay,
so
Yeah.
gotcha.
it's like I think it's like $100.
Yeah, that's still. I mean, like that's
I mean,
not a
hey,
cheap chunk
hey,
of change. Yeah,
yeah, the way I see it is it's $100 and get rid of my Switch versus the $45 I would get from the retailer.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
so once I realized that, I'm like, huh, maybe I should just buy it at launch. And and also I realized I was gonna do a physical, like I was gonna go into the store like GameStop and pre-order there and then pick up a store. But then I realized, oh, it comes out on June 5th. I'm not working that day, so I'm not gonna be anywhere near a GameStop unless I want to go out. And I'm just like, do I want to do that? I think I'm just gonna do digital and just have it delivered. Especially because I
yeah,
think Walmart said, like, if you pre-order from them, like you will have it like that morning.
yeah. It's
So I'm
like
just like,
like before 9 a.m. I think was the
yeah.
delivery.
So it's like, oh, if they're getting it that early and they're making a big deal of it, okay, then maybe it is worth it just to uh get that. Which sucks
Yeah,
because I'm not going to be able to take that day specifically. I'll have June 5th off, but I got that weekend off. So hey,
oh yeah,
I can at least enjoy the weekend. So now because of all these circumstances, I'm like maybe I am a launch person now.
yeah. I think it's a difficult thing. I mean, like, I think it makes sense to buy it at launch basically because of the tariffs and like it feels like it could change at any second. It has changed at every single second. So we're at a point now where it's like, well, maybe just buy it at launch because you might be getting the cheapest version. Maybe by the holiday they increase the price because of like the tariffs stay in. I'm of the mind that if they were gonna increase the price, they'd at least wait a year. That's kind of how I
Yeah.
feel. We'll at least get through the holiday season, get as many Switch 2s as out as possible, and then basically say, hey, we're gonna increase the price now to kind of like for evolving market conditions and whatnot, say shit like that. But yeah, I think it makes sense to kind of like check it out at launch. But also, I mean, I get it, $450. That's not a cheap chunk of change. And
Mhm.
but you spend 500, you get that Mario Kart bundle, digital only, but still, I mean, like there
Yeah,
is a version of the
I
game.
think I am have to go physically, so I have to lose out on like that $30 because my brother is a still very diehard physical collector, like
Ah,
even
gotcha.
on like movies and stuff. And he's we're gonna be sharing Mario Kart, so it just makes more sense to get it physically.
Oh
Even
yeah,
though if it
definitely.
was just me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I would just get the bundle,
Yeah, I mean,
save that 30 bucks.
yeah, it's like $30. Like, yeah, no, it's not nothing, but it's like it's still like, if you're gonna share with your brother, yeah, that's probably the best course of action. You guys pick or I guess not Jat. But I mean, are you gonna pick up any accessories, man? Like a pro controller or anything?
Maybe a pro controller if they're there.
Yeah.
But if not, I think that's it. I keep saying to myself, yeah, I'm gonna get the Piranha Plant camera because it's so much better than the regular camera. And I'm thinking, when am I gonna use the stupid camera?
Yeah, that's the thing. And also, apparently, that camera's 480p.
Well, yeah, we saw it in the video. It was literally a slideshow.
Oh no, the Piranha Plant one is 480p.
Oh,
I
really?
think the regular camera, the Switch 2 camera, is like 1080p.
Oh,
But
god damn it, Nintendo.
they're so weird. Though I think the Piranha Plant one is developed by a different company. I always forget the name of them, but they usually do a lot of Switch 2 accessories.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
so weird.
But at the end of the day, I'm still like, when am I ever going to?
No
use
one's
this
gonna
thing?
use that. Yeah, it may be fun with Mario Party Jamboree for one session. It's like I'm not gonna pay $55 for that.
Definitely looking forward to like the content creators I watch because a couple of them play Mario Party pretty regularly. So now they're gonna add that chaos to it. That's gonna be fun. But there's no way I'm ever gonna use it myself.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. For me, I'm like grabbing that Switch 2, grabbing Mario Kart World because I'm still very much physical. So I'll bite the $30. It's fine. And then Pro Controller. And listen, I know I shouldn't do it. I'm gonna buy Welcome Tour because I'm an idiot.
Let's go.
I need to know. I just need to know for myself. It is funny. I was talking to someone about it. I was like, "Do you think Welcome Tour is even gonna get reviewed?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course it is,
Yeah, it's gonna get reviewed
because it's a paid product apparently." I wonder how often do you think in those reviews it's gonna say, "This is cool, should have been free."
Yeah, it's gonna be the antithesis of every review.
Yep.
But yeah, Switch 2 finally coming out. It was that weird thing, Moon, kind of how you've been feeling, where it's like I was like a lot of my hype got dampered by the pre-orders being delayed, and then the minute they came back up, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, Switch 2 in 2 months. Like it's just the thought of it coming back in my head.
It's funny because like the whole dampening for the Switch 2 hype was entirely self-inflicted because I was like, I don't need. I mean, it'd be cool to have it at launch because of Mario Kart, especially because now with that Mario Kart Direct we'll talk about here in a second, where it actually seems like, oh, we actually have to do stuff like collect and unlock costumes. So now it's like I want to get a jump start on all that instead of a month later. But like I said, it was all self-inflicted to the point of I was just saying, well, I could just wait. It's a money, not really a money thing, but more of a I wanted to like not prioritize, but like maximize what I could do, and getting my employee discount would have been optimal.
Yeah.
But now I'm realizing this is nothing to what GameStop is offering.
Exactly. And it's not like there's like nothing else to play around the Switch 2. Like there are a lot of games coming out.
That was the other thing too. It's like I know I'm going to be busy with other stuff.
100%. But yeah, I'm very excited. I will ask, just last thing. Do you guys think they do a Nintendo Direct before or after Switch 2 launches? Because I got into a debate about this. I'm like, there's no way they do one before.
So
Like
I
I
think
can't imagine.
So I think they do one after because this is how they did the Switch one, where they had the trailer and then they had the Switch one presentation thing in January, and then they also went to like the Jimmy Fallon and everything. They did that whole marketing,
Yeah.
and then this first direct, like proper direct, was after the Switch one. So I think they're gonna do something similar where they're marketing around by doing those like the Switch 2 tours, which just went to LA now I think. And then and then it's just going straight to the Switch 2 in people's hands, and then the direct would probably be like August, September, if I were to guess.
Because that's the thing. They already have launch windows set up. It's like, here's Mario Kart, and then the next month you're getting Donkey Kong. But I think by end of June you're probably gonna get another direct. And that's where you get like more stuff on Drag X Drive, maybe a release date for that, and then what else? Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4, get a release date there. Just like kind of talk about all those remaining games, and probably, I mean, I'm of the mind. A lot of people disagree. I think they're hiding something for the holiday. Like, I think there is one more big thing. Maybe it's in that December time slot. What that is, I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I'm kind of, if it's not 3D Mario, because the big rumor right now is that Donkey Kong's by the 3D Mario team. I'm thinking it might be Fire Emblem, which I know a lot of people will be upset about, but I'll be excited. I want Fire Emblem. It's been a while, man. But yeah.
I do think that I definitely think it's possible that there is like just one more. I won't say like a big game, but medium-sized game, something like that.
Yeah, something for like that December time slot makes sense to me.
Yeah, because with Metroid Prime out, even that Metroid Prime is kind of niche,
Yeah.
and
Pokemon is November most likely.
Yeah.
I would say probably even sooner than that. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
like some weird September, October release.
Uh-huh.
But I also think, there's nothing like that. Say, because they're releasing Mario Kart at launch, which would have been like the perfect thing to bundle for the holidays. So I think they need that family, like for everybody game. And Pokemon and
mean,
Metroid. Now, granted, they could just keep riding the Mario Kart train.
yeah, I'm about to say
But
they
I
could
think
just
they're
do
going to be
Mario
wanting
Kart.
something else.
Yeah, that's a good point because the only other one they have Pokemon, Metroid, and then Kirby and Hyrule Warriors, which
Oh
like
my
I think they
god,
did.
I forgot about Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah,
I
Hyrule
forgot about
Warriors. I
Hyrule
think
Warriors too. Sorry, Jack.
yeah, yeah. They did that in 2020. I think like that was a weird year where they were basically living off like Animal Crossing, but that was their holiday game
Yeah.
then. Yeah, so I'm wondering if they do that again.
Yeah, that was a weird year because like that was like right when COVID started, and like Nintendo especially was hit by the pandemic more than most companies. But like it was literally their holiday game was Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, and then they were basically like, "Well, hopes Animal Crossing can kind of carry us for the rest of the year at this point." That was a really weird year. Oh yeah, also they had Super Mario 3D All Stars, and then took it away after 6 months because they're
They took it away. Yep.
Yep.
stupid, man. I saw
But
someone show
yeah.
like, oh, maybe they could do a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Mario 3D All Stars and add Galaxy 2. It's like Nintendo Switch 2 edition. These are emulated video games. What are they gonna do?
It's gonna run
Um,
even slightly more better.
yeah. Sorry, Joe. You were gonna say something?
Oh yeah, I was just thinking, going back to the direct thing. So my guess is if they were to do a direct before the Switch 2, but actually no, this would probably be after. I was gonna say like a Donkey Kong direct, but that's gonna be like probably right before the game comes out.
Yeah, they could do that like pretty much like 2 weeks before that game comes out. Kind of do a big final marketing stretch. Because man, that game looks good, guys. Holy shit, it looks fun.
Yeah, well, that was my original plan was to be like, yeah, I will wait for the Switch 2 for Legend Z, but then Donkey Kong comes out. I'm like, oh wait, this actually looks good, and it comes out even sooner. Crap.
God, I can't wait. Another game I cannot wait for is our next story, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Yeah, remastered, not remake. When I tell you guys, this is one of the worst kept secrets in the industry, just like the Switch 2. The two worst kept secrets in the industry, and they both like happen to be revealed in the same month. We got some leaks, details, and whatnot. Legacy Killer kind of did a good amount of like details to just put it into a bullet points. Blocking inspired by Souls-like games, sneak icons now highlighted, stamina system modified, HUD changed, hit reactions added, archery overhauled. Kind of knew a lot about that stuff. And then there were some more leaked images and kind of showing off like just how much better the game looks. Very funnily, it's going to have a deluxe edition, and if you remember the Oblivion controversy back in the day, it was horse armor, which was if you spent 99 cents, you would get cosmetic horse armor, and everyone was pissed off about that. It's like, that should be part of the game. Man, how times have changed, because now there's literal horse armor being sold in Diablo 4 for like $65. Life has changed a lot since 2006, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited as hell. I cannot fucking wait. I've been wanting to play Oblivion for a long time. I tried playing the original, and it's like, ooh, it is janky, and just the idea of like, hey, we're gonna make it look better. Hopefully, we're gonna improve the gameplay. That's kind of my big desire right now. It is weird they're calling it a remaster, and that almost puts like not a damper, but like kind of a skeptical look, where it's like maybe they're not changing as much as I thought. But then you look at the screenshots, especially the comparisons.
Yeah, like graphically,
It looks like a different
really,
game.
Yeah. It almost looks like too good to be true. Like, wait, this is a remaster or a remake? Even a remake, it's like, oh, this is just a completely different game.
Yeah, they really utilize that Unreal Engine 5 look absolutely phenomenally. And also, this is obviously Game Pass Day 1. That was like one of the leaks, which, duh, it's a first-party game. But that's awesome to get a game like Oblivion just dropped on us. This is most likely going to be a shadow drop. I do want to go into that. It is a little weird that this is being shadow dropped. I mean, Elder Scrolls is a major IP. I feel like that's something that you give a marketing cycle to get people hyped up to want to buy as much as they can with it.
Yeah, it is and it isn't at the same time, because they do want to keep that like surprise factor. It's like, yeah, we will shadow drop a Oblivion remake where like along the same lines as like, here's this brand new game, Hi-Fi Rush, go play it right now.
Yeah,
And so obviously they're not going to do this to like Elder Scrolls 6 because that will be
of course not.
that will need the market side. But I think like stuff that falls under like Ninja Gaiden 2 also, that's a pretty also kind of hefty remake, and they're just shadow dropping that too. So I think a lot of companies are realizing like you get a lot of bang for your buck. I grant that's probably a terrible phrase to use for this, but I think there's just not a whole lot of like pizzazz anymore unless you're Final Fantasy VII remake. That remakes and remasters aren't worth the hype so much, where you actually get more excitement from people when it's like, oh yeah, here it is tomorrow, here it is same day, here it is next week. Like imagine, because officially this Oblivion remake doesn't exist on official terms. So imagine like next week Xbox has some like, here's some partner showcase. Oh yeah, here's Oblivion remake. Here it is today, and like we all lose our goddamn minds. But because of how the internet is, and we've known about it for months on end now. It's just like, okay, release it. Where in another universe where leaks don't happen all the time, like a full Oblivion remake, especially with how it's looking from those screenshots, would have blown our minds.
100%, yeah. And I guess to like go off that Ninja Gaiden 2 remaster, I think that's a fair argument, but I think my one pushback is Elder Scrolls is a much, much bigger IP than Ninja
Yeah.
Oh,
Gaiden.
it's Skyrim sold like 16 million, I think that was a number
Yeah.
reported a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Elder Scrolls definitely has like the name recognition to warrant it, but at the same time, I think just a lot of companies are starting to realize that remakes don't need it in any kind of way.
Unless,
Like you get the fans immediately right on it.
yeah, unless you're like doing like an FF7 remake or a Resident Evil 2 where it's effectively a different game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I get that argument. Jet, are you jumping in on this?
Yeah, so I do like I did enjoy the bits of Skyrim I played, and I liked parts of Starfield enough, like more than the traversal. I did like the decision making
Mm-hmm.
game. And so I was thinking of checking out Oblivion, at least for that part, because I've heard it's just a fun experience overall.
Yeah, I've always heard like specifically quest design in Oblivion is like even better than Skyrim. Like, oh, these quests are like really well written and like they do a ton of fun stuff within them. So I'm excited just for that. Skyrim is one of my favorite games of all time. So like just the
Yeah.
thought of like just any bit more Elder Scrolls because we're gonna be waiting a while for Elder Scrolls 6. I'll tell you
Yeah.
guys that right now.
I guess that's the
Oh
other thing I
god.
should preface is I'm going into this with like no Elder Scrolls whatsoever. Like I've played like a total of maybe 45 minutes of Skyrim, but I'll give this Oblivion a try. Like maybe they've modernized it enough to the point where I can now play it, like even to the point where Skyrim now feels outdated. So that's entirely possible. I'm willing to give it a try. I mean, that's what the beauty of Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like that's what's funny is to think about is like this might be modernized enough to the point where like Elder Scrolls 4 is more modern than Elder Scrolls 5, which I always find that like very funny to think about. But yeah, very, very excited. Love Oblivion.
Yeah.
Or love Skyrim. Excited to love Oblivion.
Yeah, the part that I'm curious about, because with Elder Scrolls, like especially Oblivion and Skyrim, they make these quests by hand, right? Like they craft them
Mm-hmm.
each uniquely, individually, and oh god, I swear I feel like they're gonna use ChatGPT for the next one. It's gonna be scary.
Make me an Elder Scrolls quest. ChatGPT is like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can make a ChatGPT Elder Scrolls quest right now. Nope, I gotta host a podcast. Yeah, Elder Scrolls. I saw another thing. I think Synth Potato was the one that broke this, where someone just asked Xbox support, "Hey, when is Oblivion remake coming out?" And it's like, "Oh, April 21st." It's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I don't think that was meant to go live, but there we go, guys." So yeah, April 21st seems like the
poor tech support guy who just got that memo. It's like, okay, guys, this is happening on the 21st, but we can't talk about it just yet.
It's just he just got the message like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, on the email it says in caps, "Do not disclose."
Moving on to something we mentioned earlier, the Mario Kart World Direct. This was on April 17th, so just last night from when we're recording. A lot of like pretty low opinions on this for good reason. They effectively announced this thing like right during the direct, the April 2nd direct. So it was that case of like, oh, 2 weeks of hype up. Like everyone was talking about like, okay, what are they going to show off? And I saw a lot of people very disappointed. And I'll admit, like, this wasn't necessarily like the best direct, but I'm also like, I feel like this is one of those things where I think just putting the direct moniker is what harmed it. Where if it was just called Mario Kart World Overview Trailer, then I think a lot more excitement would come out of it. I just think that direct moniker has a lot of special sauce to it, to where it's like people want to see new shit showed off. But I think you were a bit higher on it, right, man?
Mainly, yeah, because I didn't. From what I've read, is a lot of the stuff that was shown off in the direct, outside of a couple things, was shown off during the treehouse, and so I get and as someone who didn't watch the treehouse or read any roundups or anything, it was pretty much all new information, like the way to unlock costumes, I guess this was new information, like the P switches to do challenges, like there's gonna be challenges throughout the world that you have to go do, was all new. So it's like it was technically all new information or at least expanded upon information that we kind of already guessed at. But I will agree that it was harmful to call it a direct when it's literally a 15-minute video. Like, I would say directs and state of plays and other things that carry that moniker need to be at least minimum half hour of information. So yeah, so that's just about it. It's just more information was good, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let's give me more Mario Kart.
Exactly. Yeah. What about you, Jay? How are you feeling?
Yeah, so was also like a bit more on the positive side, just because the tracks and everything. I mean, it looks really sick. Although the thing that I'm hoping they have a way to sort this, because there's gonna be like they showed us a screen where you select your character, and each page has like 12, and they're like 13 dots, like 13 pages. So that's like 156 characters maybe, and I'm like, and like and that includes like the skins and everything. I'm just hoping there's a way where like you can sort that, like you can maybe pick your favorite ones, or like filter it that way, or like sort it by like, yeah, this is Mario skins, because that's gonna be a crazy amount.
Interesting. Yeah. No, it's one of those things where it's like I feel like we're going to be looking at either so much content that's like overwhelming and you're like excited by it, or oh wow, I'm already done. Which honestly, for Mario Kart, I don't actually mind, because I feel like most of my playtime is going to be with friends or playing online.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna be spending like that first like day or so just running around the world, because I don't know like the efficiency of collecting the costumes. Like, do I have to? Because they just say you have to pick up the food, and the food unlocks the relevant costume. So like you eat the burger from the Yoshi's Diner, you get like the Americana, like old Western kind of stuff, road trip kind of outfit. I'm like, okay, so then that means I go to the city to get like a city outfit and all that. So we're all just gonna be running around that map collecting all the costumes. But then I'm thinking, wait, does this mean if I go to there as Mario, get the Mario cowboy outfit, does that mean I now have to go over there with Luigi to get his outfit? So that means I have to run to every location with every character I want to use and get their costumes.
Yeah, most likely. Which, listen, for a psychopath like me who likes 100% of games, that's like music to my ears. But I understand, like, if you just want, like, I just want King Boo and Luigi's outfits, it's like, I gotta do this all twice, like, that's probably annoying. Which makes me curious how they're gonna handle it.
It's definitely gonna make me more selective, like, okay, what are the characters I actually care about?
Yeah, who y'all meaning? Because there's a lot of crazy characters in this one.
It's gonna be some random animal. Like we've seen most of the animals, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be Monty Mole on the Rob bike.
Oh yeah, the Rob bike. Oh my god, that's amazing. What about you, Jet?
So I'm thinking, because we've seen a bit of him. Bowser Jr.'s in this game, and I'm like, yeah, he seems sick. He's probably gonna be one of the. Yeah. I think he's gonna be one of the like the baby drivers. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw Bowser Jr. in the first trailer.
Yeah.
No Koopa Links.
Oh yeah.
Surprisingly, it's like you fill this roster out with as many things you can. You don't even put the Koopa Links in there.
You know what? Listen, I'm gonna be real. I had to deal with the Koopalings for all the new Super Mario Brothers games, for Mario Kart 8, where it was like, we're adding so many characters in Mario Kart 8, and it was just fucking Koopalings. Retire them. I don't want to see them right now.
Yeah, and Smash too. They were the alternate costumes.
Oh my god. Just come back 5 years later, then I'll miss you. I don't want to see you right now.
Yeah, I've got a prediction, just because they kind of did this with Rosalina, where, okay, Mario Kart Wii, they added Rosalina because she was big in Mario Galaxy. Mario Kart 8, baby Rosalina. Mario Odyssey, they added Pauline, and then they added her in 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart World, maybe Baby Pauline.
I mean, there was that leaked image of Donkey Kong Bonanza that had a baby Pauline, so I
So
think you might be onto something.
yeah,
For me, I'm going Pauline. That's my girl. Especially, dude, they showed a latex outfit of Pauline. Guys, I'm telling you, the Gooners work at Nintendo now. They know.
there. Okay.
But yeah, Pauline, she's my main in 8 Deluxe. I'm probably gonna stick with her here. But also, I wanna play the pink one from Mario 64. I'm like, oh hell yeah! Like that was the one I popped off for. I love that motherfucker. But yeah, very excited.
Cow. It's like
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm annoyed that the cow is just called Cow. It's like just call it Moo Moo because it's the cow from Moo Moo Meadows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited though. It is that feeling of like, damn, a new Mario Kart after 11 years feels crazy to think about, but it's finally here. Just like with GTA for me, it was like, damn, 12 years of GTA 5, we're finally getting a new one. Moving into our next story, Marathon had its big event last Saturday. Did you guys check this out at all?
no, I saw the recap from Delayed Input, and I'm like, I feel like I got most of it out of him.
Yeah, shout outs to Kyle. Joe, what about you?
Yeah, so I know next to nothing about this game. I saw that. I think it was Bench that got the invite first.
Oh, shout out! Yeah, Bench got the invite to the alpha, but Fusion didn't. And Fusion's the one that's actually interested in this game, so God bless him. I watched it. I'll say this first and foremost. I still don't know what an extraction shooter is. I feel like I've been explained like multiple times, and I'm like, I still don't know like. Why do I want loot? Why do I want to get loot and extract out with it? So I need to sit down with Fusion and him explain it to me for 30 minutes. It's like, this is why extraction shooters are like this. But I'll say what I saw did look good. Real quick, Okami Games kind of did a quick little summary of everything. Pricing is unconfirmed, but is reportedly $40. Confirmed, not even close to $70. Battle Pass confirmed, 3 maps at launch, 4th map shortly after. I watched the whole presentation. It was about an hour long. A lot of talking, more than I think I would prefer, but they did show a good amount of gameplay and kind of like the whole loop. And a lot of content creators got their impressions out. I watched some of those. I watched the FPS podcast, their impressions. We weren't invited to the event. I don't know why. Bungie, I
Rude.
mean, listen, like we're right here. But either way, it seems to be the consensus is, oh, it's cool. Like that's
Yeah,
kind of how I feel. I know
thing-
Fusion's really high on it.
Yeah, it just seems to be very like, oh yeah, it's an extraction shooter, all right.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I did watch that gameplay. I'm like, yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. I think Bungie shooting is amazing. I like you play those Halo games, and then I don't like Destiny, but I'm not gonna say the shooting is bad. The shooting
Oh yeah, the shooting felt great whenever I
in
played it.
Destiny make a game feel good to shoot. Yeah, exactly. It's like they know how to make a game feel good to play, but I just don't like their loops. The gameplay loop of Destiny pisses me off. Halo's awesome though, but that was a long time ago. Halo. I mean, like what the last Halo game they worked on was Reach, I think. That was 2010.
That was the last one, and it's also really funny. It's they promoted in the trailer. It's like from the creators of Halo, and then one of the comments I saw was like, who's still there that worked on Halo? Is the janitor still working there?
I mean, fair. I will say they did have like people that were like, there was one guy who was like, oh, worked since like Halo 3. Like they have some Halo veterans still there, but it is interesting, like just seeing creators of Halo. It's like, I guess so. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I mean, I thought everything looked good, but I still don't get the loop. I don't know what the extraction shooter loop, like the hype of it, I guess, and I think it's just
I guess
I
it's
gotta
like
play
any
one.
other just team-based game, kind of.
Yeah, I guess it's like the thought of like, oh man, losing your loot would be like terrifying. So stakes are always high. It's like I don't want to lose my loot. I got all this loot. I don't even know what I'm looting. That's kind of my thing right now with extraction shooters. But maybe if someone sits me down or like I play a game of Marathon, I'm like, oh okay, I get why the excitement is there. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I feel like this is one of those games that like I see the excitement of the Bungie fanboys, which I respect obviously, and I think they're really into it, and I'm down for that. But also there is that skeptical look, and I do want to bring this up: the price, $40. And here's my thing: I think if you're gonna do 3 maps at launch, I don't know if you do $40. That just seems comically low amount personally. But also, I'll say this. you can't. I feel like as a multiplayer game, I feel like it's almost impossible to launch a paid multiplayer game in an environment where Fortnite is free.
Yeah. I mean, we've had this conversation multiple times, and it's like that is the problem now, is like there is almost no way to justify any kind of multiplayer focused game to be just just the multiplayer and you charge for it, when not even just Fortnite, but Warzone and a bunch of other things. It's just like, where's the it's bad to say that because it makes it sound like you're dissing the game, but it's like, what's the value of this game that I have to pay $40 for, and the battle pass and other stuff, where I can get all that in Fortnite, where all my friends can also play that too.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like Fortnite's $10, or like $10 with the battle pass specifically. I should point out, but Fortnite's free, and then you pay $10 for the battle pass. This is $40, and then however much the battle pass is. And here's the thing: I'll say this. I don't know if you guys saw. I forget which multiplayer game it was, but there was a multiplayer game that came out recently. I think it was the one that's being published by PlayStation that they refused to market for some reason. But it's like, hey, if you buy this game, we're gonna give you like 5 keys that you can give to all your friends. And I feel like if Marathon did that, people would be way more down for this.
Oh,
Or like
100%.
maybe not
Well,
like
they would
5,
also
but
that would also
20.
encourage the haters of like, they're not confident in this game. You got to buy one person to buy it and
they're
bring
loud.
5 friends.
They're not important. I think it's way more important to say, hey, you pay $40 for this, you get 2 keys for your 2 teammates.
Yeah.
Like, do the friend pass that It Takes Two does. I guess my prediction is within the year, I do think this game goes free to play. But I will say this: I don't think this is gonna flop, especially now that at the Concord level.
It's not going to flop at the Concord level because it's going to have that Bungie pedigree to it. But I don't, unless it just absolutely takes the world by storm. It's like, this is the extraction shooter.
Yeah.
Because now, unlike, what's the other one that's Dark and Darker or whatever that other big
Escape
extraction
from
shooter is?
Tarkov.
Escape from Tarkov, that's it. Because that's only on PC. So
that game. I realized that now.
But yeah, if this can tap into that not only on PC but on the console side too, then you could have a hit on your hand. But at the same time, you're going into this market of trying to sell an extraction shooter to the console market, who probably doesn't know what an extraction shooter is to a degree unless they watch other people play it. And you got to spend $40 to try a genre of a game you may not know you like or not. So it's an uphill battle in like various regards. And yeah, it's not going to fail like in the way Concord did, but I just don't see it taking off, at least at launch. Like, maybe it could be a Fortnite situation or an Among Us situation where like a year later they finally work out everything and goes free to play and a bunch of other things, then it starts taking off. But I just don't see this having like a gigantic launch.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think it's one of those things where it has an uphill hill to climb, and I want it to climb that. I want this game to do well. I think it would be cool to see like a game. I want to see Bungie do well because I do think they make good feeling games. They nail that so well. But I am just like, I guess skeptical is the word, because I've seen these multiplayer games come and go, and it's like I've seen free ones come and go. And I don't. Again, this is Bungie pedigree. It's going to feel better than 90% of games on the market right now. But how much better is it going to feel to where you're like, I need to pay $40 on this? And I think the way they need to market this, they need to get it in people's hands. Get it like, hey, we're doing an open beta. We're doing these alpha tests. Like, they're doing that alpha test. They removed the NDA. It was originally going to have an NDA where it's like, you can't show any footage, which was stupid. They're removing that, thankfully. And I think it's like, if people go into the alpha test, love it, stream it, everyone's talking about it, I think this game could do very well.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely what it needs, but at the same time, we also said that's also the same thing that happened to Concord.
Yeah, but
like
I don't think it's fair to compare them.
I know. I know it's not.
Yeah.
It's not fair to compare, I know. But it's just like, you just kind of can't look, you can't not compare the similarities, but also did it confirm $40? Is that just kind of like what everyone's
it's not
assuming?
confirmed, but it's like the big rumor right now is that it's $40.
It feels like the most obvious choice when they turned around, because I saw when they turned down, it's like, it's not going to be a full price game at $70. They're like, okay, so 40 seems to be that price now. Now imagine they like switch everyone's head. It's like, oh, it's a $20 game.
Yeah, dude, honestly though, I mean, like, that is possible.
I would turn some heads and be like, okay, maybe I will check it out.
I'd check it out for $20. So it's no skin off my teeth. We will see. That is releasing September 23rd. That was something else they added. So what was it? Same day as Borderlands 4? Why? That's such a like.
They want to play chicken with Randy Pitchford.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That's a little bit of Bungie hubris. That's a little bit of like, yeah, we're the big boys on the field. It's like, guys, Borderlands 3 sold like 20 million copies. Like, I don't give a shit about Borderlands 4, but a lot of people do. You might as well just get a little bit out of the way.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if anyone actually does move or if we're gonna have this weird head-to-head battle.
Yeah, that's gonna be, I don't think Borderlands moves. I'll say that because they need to make space for GTA 6. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm Bungie, it's like, just delay it a week. Who cares? Moving into our next story, this is kind of one where it's literally going to be outdated by the time we talk about it. Literally by the time the podcast publishes. So not too much to say. Shinobi puts this out. Star Wars Zero Company announced a new single-player turn-based tactics game from Respawn and Bit Reactor. First look coming on April 19th during Star Wars Celebration. Not much to say here. We're going to obviously see a lot more of it by the time this podcast comes out. I'm into it. I like the idea of like a turn-based tactics game in that Star Wars universe, and this key art does look cool. I will also say I don't give a shit about Star Wars anymore, so I'm not the market, but I'm excited for people who are very much in that Star Wars mood.
Like, I'm into it for the idea of a turn-based tactics game, not so much for it being a Star Wars game. This could literally be anything, as long as the gameplay is interesting. Like, I'll check it out. So I'll check it out if the gameplay looks good, but it's not because it's Star Wars.
Didn't they announce Star Wars Celebration started? They announced a bunch of movies, right?
Yeah, they announced one directed by Sean Levy, who directed the latest Deadpool, and it has Ryan Gosling.
Oh hell yeah!
And it's about
It's literally me.
Starfighter, so I guess that's somewhat okay. You have my attention.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Star Wars. Man, I can't care anymore. I just can't do it. It's just been so overutilized. Moving into our last story, not much to say here. PS5 price to rise in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Do you guys think this is kind of like setting up for what might be an eventual U.S. tariff due to the U.S. tariffs?
Yeah,
an eventual price increase there.
It's everything just going up, and I don't know what did Grubb say. It's like that alone is convincing him that GTA 6 is coming out this year.
Yeah, I mean, you get ahead of it. I mean, didn't Jat, you would know PS Plus increased in Canada?
Oh yeah, that too. And I think it's also just like to kind of match with like how the dollar is doing to the rest of the world, and maybe also adding like now that Switch 2 is revealed and the price, comparing like the price if it's like, all right, we can raise our price a little bit to make it seem like better value for the PlayStation than Switch 2, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense. And that GTA 6 comment is like, yeah, that I think it's like, yeah, let's raise the price now so that people who want to buy a PS5 for GTA 6 are going to spend more. Which, by the way, remember when consoles used to get price decreases, guys? Like, I'm literally going to be I'm old enough to remember.
I remember when the 3DS got slashed because it was selling so badly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like 4 months after launch. They were like, oh, God, no.
But yeah, there used to be sales and bundles, and what happened to that?
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
no, I was gonna say when I got the PS4, it was like I think a year after launch, like 2014. It came like I got the bundle that came with GTA 5 and Last of Us. I'm like, wow, this is a great deal.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I mean, dude, they had the Astrobot PS5 bundle, which is like the one game you need for PS5, let's be real. But I know PS3, if you guys remember, literally like 3 years later, they announced the Slim, and it was just better in every way. It was like, oh, now it's half the price. The only thing you're missing is like backwards compatibility for PS2, which that stung, but it was still like $300 compared to $600 is obviously like a crazy deal.
Yeah,
and like that just doesn't exist anymore now because of the way rising costs work.
Yeah, and at that time, people also just bought it as a Blu-ray player because it was cheaper than those too.
Yeah, true.
It's just interesting to see that just the comparison because we're getting the Switch 2, and yet there's no talk of and the Switch 1's going to go down and like drop $100 or something. It's like nope, everything's still full price.
All right, well, that's everything in regards to the news, guys. I'll admit something. I joked about the Chat GPT like creating a Elder Scrolls quest. I couldn't help myself. I just asked it real quick to make a Skyrim quest. And then, yo, I'm gonna be real. This is kind of fire. I'm reading it right now. It's like talking about like, oh, here's a unique dwarven sword that hums with mortal energy, and you're reactivating an ancient machine. It's like, damn, wait, hang on. I'm down. Maybe AI is cool. And I asked it to make a map, and it's like it made a map. I'm like, yo, I'm in. Let's just be real. Obviously joking, but it's still very funny. It's like, how the fuck? Wow, that is way better than the GPT I used to cheat on college exams. Moving into what we've been playing, because there's no real reviews this week. I have been checking out. I'll mention real quick. I was playing first Berserker Kazan. I think I'm gonna drop that. It's getting to the point where it's like, the combat's fun, but it's way too fucking difficult. And I'm the Souls guy that's saying that it's way too difficult because bosses just have way too much health. And it's like I checked like, okay, what mission am I on? And I realized I'm only halfway through the game. It's like, I swear to God, I thought I was like at the final mission or something. And I'm at the point, I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So it's a fun game, but it's way too long in the tooth for me. But also, I finished up Blueprints, and I know you've been playing it, Jet, so you can talk a little bit about that. I really love Blueprints. I think this is a excellent game, one of my favorites of the year so far. Actually, it might be my favorite now that I think about it, because I haven't played a lot this year. But I don't know how much it's going to hang on my top 10. It'd probably be in my top 10 at least. But
it's going to get a shout out in the indie section at least.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is one of those games that I think it's very special what it's doing, and I really appreciate what it's doing. I think I'm way too dumb for it. And I really love it, but it's like, I felt like I finished it by the skin of my teeth, where like, I got lucky. I don't know how I figured it out, but I did it. And I'll admit I looked some stuff up. And I think that's like kind of my big tip. It's like, yeah, this is a puzzle game, but like, don't be afraid to look some stuff up, because some of this shit is like impossible to figure out on your own.
I got to the billiards room and saw that dartboard puzzle, saw an explanation, and I said, no, I'm out.
I love that billiard, dude. Every time I was there, I'm like, oh god, okay, I know long division, I can do this. But yeah, I dig this game a lot. I think it is kind of a tough sell. I think it's one of those things where I think the first couple hours I was the same way, where I'm like, I don't know if I'm into this. I don't think I'm going to play it. But if you're willing to push through, if there's enough there that is interesting to you, I think this is worth to stick to. And I think it's a very, very special game. And I hope it sticks around by the end of the year and everyone's like wanting to like kind of campaign for it by then. But Jay, I don't know if you beat it, but like you've been playing a good amount, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been playing a good amount each night. Like I try to get at least a little bit in. And so my biggest
Oh, and we lost him.
Okay, okay. We good?
oops, sorry about that. Yeah, my audio cut
Yeah,
out,
no
but
worries. Yeah, you were
yeah,
talking about Blueprints?
yeah, Blueprints. So in game, I'm about 25 days into it. And so there's definitely those points where I just feel like I don't like I've gotten some puzzles solved and those feel satisfying, but like the parts that I need like a specific room or like a specific thing to happen, I feel like I'm losing patience and I want to drop it at
I
some
get
points,
it.
but I'm like, I should just push through just a little bit more. But yeah, I'm hoping to get this one done soon.
That's
No, I
like
get
the
it.
number one complaint I hear from most people. It's like when it comes to doing the stuff that requires specific rooms to pop up in specifically certain sequences, it's like
Yeah.
that's the most annoying part.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint with the game. Is like, as much as I love it, I think the RNG is ridiculous at a certain point. And my problem is you just can't control it. It's like, it's just purely luck. And I'm like, that's just frustrating, because it's like, I got lucky on my last run that won the whole thing. And it's like, man, I would have been killed if, say, I got one less step or something. So yeah, but again, I do think this is a very interesting game. And again, it's on Game Pass and PS extra catalog, so you might as well check it out in my eyes. South of Midnight. I think this was you, Moon. You've been playing a good amount. Or actually, you beat it, right?
I beat it last night or the night before. One of those, I can't remember. Time is an illusion. Yeah, I finished it. What was actually really funny is I got most of the way done. I did like the last like 3 chapters of them, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna beat this next. Chapters weren't very long, but then right up to chapter 13, right before the last one, which is 14, I remembered, oh, I have some college work I have to do real quick. So I did like an hour of that. And I came back to do chapter 14. And literally, no joke, chapter 14 is just a cutscene. So so all the emotional like
Oh no.
baggage that comes from doing the final boss and all this other stuff in chapter 13, I pause, I come back to it an hour later, it's like here's this not revelation, but like everything ends, and that is a downside is it's kind of an abrupt ending. Like Bob was saying earlier in the chat, it almost feels like there was going to be more, but they had to cut it for time. And yeah, so that was definitely unsatisfying. So if you're listening to this and you're close to finishing South of Midnight, just when you hit chapter 13, just keep going. Don't stop. Just let the story play out with chapter 13 and 14 so you don't have this like emotional road bump. But overall, I do like it. I do think the criticism on the combat is both justified and overblown at the same time. Like, it's not great, but it's not as bad as people are saying. The platforming is probably one of the highlights for me. Like, just those little, because after each section you have this like little run from the fog section that's like kind of like a Sonic kind of runaway level, and those were fun. Like, if they would have just expanded on that for more, because especially the world is so beautiful and so well made, and like I would have just loved to run through this level and that be more the main focus. Then okay, I go from this part to this part to this part, we've got to get in this little arena, kill all the enemies, and then be done with it. It's like if they would have less focused on that and more just running around in puzzles, I think probably would have been received a bit better. But they just made it so you go from point A to point B to point C, fight some enemies in an arena, and then you're done. That was pretty much the whole game. And it didn't help that the enemies, there were like 5 different types of enemies, and those 5 for the whole game. So you combine the repetitive, uninteresting combat with only 5 enemy types, and you do that 20 times a game. It's a little aggravating, but the story is definitely what carries it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing is effectively like, hey, this game, like gameplay wise, is kind of weak, especially in the combat space, but it tells a very like gripping and emotional narrative at points.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, like the stories they get into, and like because won't spoil anything, but almost every chapter, at least like a good, let's say there's 14 chapters, I would say about 7 of them, about half of them, you learn about a character, you learn about their trauma and their past and a bunch of other stuff, and then you go and resolve it or help them get through that and other stuff like that. So you learn like these people's story, and you're like, oh, and the stories that they tell are like, oh, you're actually going there.
Wow, yeah. I heard it digs deep into like really like serious subject matter.
But yeah, I still recommend, especially with it being on Game Pass. It's not long. Like you could easily blow through this in 10 to 12 hours. I think I should be able to look at how long it took me. So it just sucks, and we've said this a couple times in the Discord, especially with the soundtrack is also the big highlight. The story and the soundtrack are the 2 main things to take away from this. And it just sucks that here's this really good game. Like, I won't say it's a great game, but it's a really good game, but it's just going to get lost in the shuffle that is 2025, and just all these big killer games are coming out, and with other big amazing stories, hopefully, and great soundtracks and all that, and it's just going to get lost in the shuffle when it should be getting some flowers come award season, and it's probably going to get skipped over by a lot.
Especially with how strong Xbox's April alone is. I forgot to bring this up during the Oblivion talk, but it's like it's coming out the same week as Clear Obscure. And it's like, why would you bury a game that's also coming on Game Pass? Like that let them, they don't need to share the light. Let them, separate a bit. So yeah,
I think it's just them thinking like it's like 2 different audiences, but at the same time it's kind of not. I think there's a big overlap between those 2.
Yeah, no, exactly. I know you 2 are very excited for that game, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It looks good. I will admit, man, it looks good. I don't know if I'll have time for it, but damn, it looks good.
Oh, I always have time for turn-based RPGs, no matter what.
You were a different man 2 years ago, Jay. You were like, I want to jump in Wahoo, and the moment Persona touched you, you're like, Astrobot? Ass. That game sucks. But yeah. I think that's. Oh, and also, Moon, you wanted to talk about the Unbeatable demo?
Yeah, so Unbeatable. So Twitch Galaxies did their thing yesterday, and I don't know about announced because I didn't watch it, and I just kind of saw the wrap-up page on Steam of like everything that was talked about. Some interesting things, but one of the big ones that
God,
got
this
shown
is
up,
such a moon game.
um,
Let's see this.
but it got a demo for it. I knew about this game a couple months ago, and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Like rhythm game, okay, I can get into this. And so I played the demo, and sadly, I'm not convinced. The biggest thing for me is actually the gameplay for the actual rhythm part of it is interesting, but it's the everything else that you have to do. And I didn't realize this, but there's like this just talking about story. But there's like a story that's supposed to be like connecting all of your because it's the whole story premise is it's a world where music pretty much has been banned, and so you're like this rebel band trying to bring music back, and you're fighting police. Like literally, part of the rhythm game is beating up cops, and but that's all well and fine. But there's like this whole like high school angst, teen drama also in the midst of this. I'm like, I don't care. Like, which is funny considering most of the stuff I watch and read is teenage angst, but yet this one isn't doing it for me. I think it's also I hate the just getting lost, like especially it has a really cool art style, I'll give it that, and art direction, but it doesn't help when you're wandering around the city not knowing where to go, what to do, and that's the only way to progress the story. At least give me like a little indicator on the map saying go to the bar, go to the workshop, whatever, but there's none of that, so you're just wandering around the city, and nothing makes me lose interest in a game faster than not knowing where to do, and you just make me wander around a place. Maybe I'll give it another shot at some later point, but that was definitely killed it for me. Maybe I'll try to work my way through just so I can enjoy the rhythm combat again.
Mm-hmm. No, that's all fair. It's interesting. I have not heard anything about this game.
I think it was at some indie event, and I caught the trailer for it. I'm like, oh, this looks neat, and I added it to my wish list like a million other things. Like literally, look at my list. What wish list right now? I have 144 things on there.
Jesus, man.
Every time something interesting pops, I'm like, okay, I'll add that.
God, it's so funny. I rarely use wish lists, especially on Steam. But like Steam will send you the notifications of when something on your wish list is on sale. And I just rarely got the notification. It's like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is on sale. And not the new one. The 2009 Modern Warfare 2. And I'm like, when the fuck did I add this? Like, where was I in my life when I added COD Modern Warfare 2 on my Steam wish list?
Yeah, there's definitely some things on there. I'm like, why do I have this on here?
Was I drunk? Like, what the fuck?
It's definitely nice with because they'll also alert you when demos come out. Like when something gets a demo, I'm like, oh, okay, that's a cool feature because they don't really announce demos all that often. So that's so it's nice when that happens. I'm like, oh, now I could check out this game and then remove it from my wish list when it's not my game anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, and if you like rhythm games, I'd say check out the demo. I think that was like really the only game that was announced at the Twitch Galaxies event that actually got a demo, so it's kind of the highlight there.
Yeah, I didn't hear many people talk about that, so it seems like it was just kind of a low
Even
key.
Wario didn't cover it, which I'm like, that's what I was sitting at work waiting for because I knew I couldn't watch it live. So I'm like, okay, I'll just refresh Wario's page every once in a while, see what he pops up. And he never tweeted about it.
He's a busy guy, Moon. He ain't watching
There was
the
like
Twitch
20 plus games
Galaxies.
that were talked about there, so I'm like, okay, well, would have been nice to know about some of these.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, boys, I think that's about to do it, though. Fun podcast. Not a lot to talk about, but we found a way to talk a lot about them, which is always fun.
Like the Switch 2 pre-orders going, I've definitely saved it.
Yeah, really, seriously. But yeah, hope you guys had fun. Thank you, Jet. Thank you, Moon. Thank you all to the audience for checking out this podcast. If you want to find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcast services. We're going to be on there. Like the podcast on YouTube and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. With that, I think that's it. Say good night, everybody.
Hey.
It's
Go pre-order
Oblivion
the Switch
time.
2. Go play Welcome Tour.
Donkey Kong.